Today, we're looking at the disparity between the rich, the wealthy, and the poor, those of us who are struggling, and just what it is that Proverbs, that wisdom has to say to both in our situations in the world. Proverbs 10 verse 15 says, "The wealth of the rich is their fortified city, but the ruin of the poor is their poverty." There was a time when the elite would advertise their wealth by the clothes that they'd wear and the watch that was upon their wrists and the car that they would drive down the street. But this is no longer the case. Today, you don't have to be rich to wear brand names. Today, a pair of Armani jeans can be bought for a fraction of what they once cost. Today, designers are creating clothes that look like they're worn by the homeless. Today, when you hear celebrities saying things like, "I'm against luxury," you are listening to the sound of a guilty conscience. They feel guilty about being privileged. They like their privilege, but they feel guilty about it. Today, respect is no longer granted to those who own huge yachts and spend all their time out there on the Mediterranean. Rather, it's given to celebrities who support various ideologies, things like Save the Planet or Black Lives Matter or give the indigenous a voice in Parliament or championing causes that project their ego, that give status to their credibility or give credibility to their status, and it palliates their conscience through advocating social and economic and political reform. All of this is without genuine, sincere, empathic engagement with those that they purport to support. They care little about the devastating effect that their platforms will have upon the poor. They demand things like zero carbon emission, and in proclaiming that, they drive up the cost of living, especially the cost of energy, and through that, the poor end up becoming poorer. They become sicker. They become tireder because they have to work longer. Whilst the elect stay warm in winter and sleep well at night because their consciences have been placated by their ideology. The upper class vote for the abolition of police and then shield themselves by hiring private security. Whilst theft and violence increase all around them, the upper class fortify their lifestyle, but the poor suffer in their poverty as a consequence. And should any of the intelligentsia's ideals prove ineffectual, they can afford to drop it and move on to their next pet project, but the poor will end up suffering for years from the consequences. And it sounds like the privileged are sympathetic to the poor when in fact they hold the lower class in contemptuous disgust. As the saying goes, when the aristocracy catches a cold, the working class dies of pneumonia. Jesus had more to say about money than any other subject because our relationship with money reflects our relationship with God. He said, "Render unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's." Money has a way of taking the place of God in a person's life. Instead of being a tool in your hands, money can take on a personality so as to gain your trust. And instead of God being your wall of protection, you think your money will do that. You will think, as Ecclesiastes states, that money is the answer to everything. Both the rich and the poor can believe this. The rich because they have it, the poor because they need it. It's no wonder then that the Proverbs gives us a prayer. It says, "Give me neither poverty nor riches, but give me only my daily bread." So essential is this practical philosophy, that Jesus included it in the Lord's Prayer when he said, "Give us our daily bread," when he said, "Give us this day our daily bread." So if we make this our prayer, then whether you have much or whether you have little, you will have enough. And you'll discover the antidote to this proverb, where it says, "The wealth of the rich is their fortified city, but the ruin of the poor is their poverty." My dog can be so naughty at times. But the ruin of the poor is their poverty. The antidote to that is praying to God and saying to God, "Give us this day our daily bread." Yes. So do that, and you'll see in your life, your daily life, that you won't be consumed by the god of mammon, by having money as your focus. Whether you're rich or whether you're poor, money will take its proper place, and you'll be free and able to have a life that is trusting in God for everything. God bless you. We'll see you soon for more wisdom out of the book of Proverbs.